I'm Kiera, welcome back to my channel. Haven't been on for a while, there has been some things going on, but I am going to try my best to upload. I did actually record a video last week, but I am stupid and I basically recorded it but my face wasn't in view. I need glasses, and when I do my makeup I obviously don't wear them, and I haven't actually got contact lenses yet which help me see. So when I'm doing my makeup I basically have to go really close to the mirror. It's quite difficult to film, but I have tried my best for this video. I'm going to be getting normal contacts at some point. I'm just waiting for these ones to like expire, and then I'm going to try and get some on prescription. I am also going to try and get a MacBook or something better. At the moment I'm filming and editing on my phone. I mean, I'm new to it all anyway, so it's quite, I don't know, I'm not that great, but I know it's probably going to be easier to do on a computer. At the moment my laptop is way too slow to even try. I mean, I did try to, but it just would not work. I'm going to do it on my phone for now. Hopefully my filming skills and my editing skills will get better soon. If you want to see the video I did record before, I can upload it, but I'm in and out of shot basically, so what I might do is put it as a get ready with me, I'm not sure. But also I recorded it all in jumbled bits. It was quite difficult to try and piece together through the app on my phone, so I don't know, I'll see about that. But if you want to see how I do this, then please keep watching. So I'm going to jump straight into the video. I'm going to list all of the products that I use on the corner of the screen. Here I'm just using mixed pore filler primer all over my face, and I make sure that I get it down my neck. This is the first time I'm ever doing a voiceover, and actually it's the first time I'm ever editing a video like this, so we'll see how it goes. So now I'm doing my foundation. I use the Urban Decay All Nighter foundation, and I use Revolution Pro Foundation Mixing Lightener. It really does help make it like even more pale, and that goes to the effect. I like being super pale, I like looking dead. So yeah, I always use this. The Urban Decay foundation is actually super full coverage, and it's probably the best foundation that I've used. I've got like combo skin, and it's not the most easy skin to work with, but I do find that this does work quite well. I use a makeup brush that I've mixed the product with on the back of my hand, and I just basically put it all over my face, and then I use a makeup sponge to blend it out properly. I do pay extra attention to make sure that I get the foundation around my piercings. I'm not that bothered about foundation getting it on it, because I will just clean the piercings up afterwards. And being realistic, if you have this many piercings on your face, you're not going to be able to do it without getting makeup on them. And if you can, I applaud you. And there was my face looking very confused. I thought I'd leave that in there. But that's because I basically didn't know if I was going to be putting black makeup on my neck or not, which I do tend to do. I did put foundation on here, but I do end up going back over it. I also remember to put foundation on my ears, as they are quite bright pink and the shade just doesn't match. And then I basically blend it in with a beauty blender, as I have done on the rest of my face and neck. And now I'm concealing my face with the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Correct Concealer in white. Not only is this super full coverage, but it also brightens up your face really well, and if you're doing really pale makeup, it really does make a difference. It's only, I think, $3.99. It is really good quality for money. The only problem is I found that I've run out of it really quickly, but for that price I'm not really going to complain. And then I go back in with the same damp makeup sponge and blend it all in. And now I'm using the Makeup Revolution Translucent Loose Setting Powder to set my face. Now I'm essentially baking, but I'm just trying to pay extra attention to these areas of my face. I do go quite heavy-handed with this, and then I do end up applying it all over my face, as you'll see in a minute. It just makes it extra light and pale, super goth. I do find that this actually really does brighten up things even more. Even though I do go over it, it kind of pays extra attention to these areas and really highlights your face more. So now I'm going in with a big fluffy brush, leaving more of the product in circular motions and just making sure that I'm completely covered. do end up going over my neck, which was fairly pointless now doing it, but you know, I didn't know I was going to be doing my black neck at the time. Now I'm using the shade Solitude from the Illamasqua Shiver palette. I start off by contouring my cheekbones with this angled brush. Yeah, I do this and then I do end up going over it in a second with other colours, but I do this just to start off with. This is the Makeup Obsession Black is the New Black palette. I'm using quite a lot of the shades on this palette to do my face. It's such a good palette. I mean, for £6, it's the goth dream. So I'm just contouring my jawline and my cheekbones with these 3 shades. They're basically 3 different shades of grey, and that adds more depth. I did go down my neck, which was a bit pointless because I did end up using black face paint, but you couldn't do this if you don't want to do the face paint. I used the same loose setting powder and the big fluffy brushes to blend it out and make it a little bit more seamless. I then went in with a fluffy eyeshadow brush with the darker greys and just defined it even more. It's not meant to be natural whatsoever, so don't worry about it looking quite harsh, that's what we want. So I start contouring my nose and start my eyeshadow now with the same shade that we used before. Cryptic is the lightest of the greys, but then we do go back in with the darker shades to add more depth and darken it. I don't necessarily have too much of the darker shades down my nose because I kind of want it to blend in. So I go from like dark at the corners of my eyes to quite light to the tip of my nose. I'm sorry if that wasn't the best explanation, but I think you can see what I mean. I then use an extra fluffy eyeshadow brush with the shade Black just to smoke it out and make it even more intense. I then use a fluffy eyeshadow brush, the same one, and I just want to smoke out under my waterline with the same 3 shades that we used before. Just work it into the corner of my eye and yeah, just basically blend it out as much as possible. I think I just stabbed my eye with the eyeshadow brush, that's why I pulled that face. I go from the lightest shade Cryptic to the darkest shade. The lighter shades I want it to be like further out, and the closer to the waterline the darker the shade will be. And I basically want to fluff it out. That's not even a word, fluff it out. I want to blend it out onto my brow bone. I look pretty dead right now, I think so. So here I use the shade Sparkle. I just thought I'd show it before I use it. It's literally like metal, it is insane. But I just dab it onto the corners of my eye, the corner of my eye, sorry, and I put it onto my eyelid and on the underneath, like in the corner. And then I use the Makeup Revolution loose highlighter and Ice Diamond on a fan brush. I put this in excess amounts. It really does go with the whole thing. It's like super blinding white highlighter. I make sure I get it all over my brow bone, all over my cheekbones. Yeah, it's not even picking up very well on camera, but oh my god, in person it's crazy. I also just use my finger to go over some places. My Cupid's bow, I do use my finger to dab over my cheekbones as well, and my nose, it just really packs on there. I then go in with the same fluffy brush just to blend it all out because there was quite a lot of product on my face. I then use a smaller eyeshadow brush and I use the same shade we used before, the black shade, and I just basically put it right underneath my waterline and smoke it out into like a wing, and I drag the wing out right onto the edge of my face. I will just add, I am fully aware that the camera angles start going downhill from here, but I am so sorry about that. I'm going to try and get a better setup soon so I can actually see what I'm doing and be recorded at the same time properly. I used a small flat brush and I basically blend it out with quite a lot of the product to like smoke it out, but I'm going to do like a shape going down my cheek, so I use this to kind of blend it out. It's probably not what it's meant to be used for, but it works for me. Just to add, I'm not a professional and I've never claimed to be one. I don't really know what I'm doing half the time, I just kind of go along with it, to be honest. There are no rules of makeup, but you will always get them people that tell you you're doing it wrong. And I do not care, so yeah, do what you like, do what makes you happy, and look how you want to look and do it how you want to. Of course, it's always good to learn techniques and how to do things properly, but I feel like when you do such creative makeup, it really, if something works for you, then you might as well go with it. I then use the NYX Love Lust Disco Epic Ink Liner in black, and I draw a line from the inner corner of my eye onto my nose, and then I drag that line back onto my waterline to create a triangle shape. I think this eyeliner is actually really good. I got it at Christmas. It's really, really good. I like the tip of it. It's like a little paintbrush, and I find that the lines are a lot more defined, and it also lasts really, really well. Here I'm using the Maybelline Lasting Drama Gel Liner in black, and it comes with a little brush that I use, and I just fill in the gaps with this. I find that this is actually a really, really good liner. It's about $7.99 or $8.99, but when you use as much eyeliner as I do, you'll realise that it's actually handy to only spend that much money on it. It's really, really good, and it lasts all night. I just set it with a good eyeshadow. And now with the NYX liner, I just draw a wing quite high up, and I basically mark out the line, well, I mark out the space where I'm going to fill in. It doesn't have to be perfect first time because I add more and more to it. I'd rather do the liner too thin and then make it thicker and thicker than make it too thick and then have to try and rub it off. So that's what I'm doing here. And now I'm just using a lip brush and the same Maybelline liner, just filling in the gaps. Yeah, this works really, really well. It's super pigmented and it lasts all night. I'm really surprised that neither of my cats have walked into the background. I've got a cat called Crumble and a cat called Pumpkin. See, I couldn't make it through a full video without mentioning them. They will be in a future video. I love them so much, but yeah, they're normally always wandering around on my bed. And now I'm using the same liner to do my eyebrows. Super angry, super goth. That's the goal. I'm so happy that I have no eyebrows. I think I'm gonna have no eyebrows for life. I can't ever see myself growing them back. I don't know. I just think my brows are better than brows. I didn't completely hate my brows, but they weren't the perfect shape and I didn't really like the thickness, so I made another mixture of the foundation and the drops and used that to define them. I went in with a thin angled brush and some black eyeshadow and just set them and filled in the little gaps. I then just got another brush and added some more highlighter to the brow bone. I then used the shade Obsidian from the Illamasqua Shiver palette, which is really black, and I used that to set my lids and set the gel into place. And it's also super, super pigmented. I used the same fluffy brush from before and used the same shades that we used from the Black is the New Black palette, the 3 different greys, and I basically blended shadows all around my mouth. I then used the smaller eyeshadow brush just to define them shadows even more. This is not meant to be like in any way neat, it's supposed to be really messy and dark. Then with a lip brush, I used the Revolution Pro Supreme Matte Lip Pigment in Bad Vibes, which is just the blackest of blacks basically, and I lined the rough outline, but it doesn't have to be too neat because I do go back in to smudge it out afterwards. I then fill it in with the actual wand, which honestly I don't really like that much, but I couldn't actually find my other lipstick I was looking for, so I had to deal with this. And with a flat brush and some black eyeshadow, I blend it in, smudge it out, just pat the pigment on, yeah, and I just drag it out into the corners and drag it out into the smudged areas or the areas that I want to look quite messy. I use my finger too to smudge it out because I feel like that actually does help. It's a bit easier than using this brush, it makes it more messy. I then used the GRWM Lash Saver Lash Primer and completely coat my lashes top and bottom. I then used the NYX liquid liner in white. I find that using the primer beforehand separates the lashes and then this coats them. I know this isn't a mascara, but it works perfectly fine and does the job that I want it to do. This is the Revolution Precious Stone liquid glitter liner in Ice Diamond, and I just go over that line that we made before with some glitter, just make it pop. Now I can't promise this a natural snazaroo face paint, but I just use a face paint and some setting spray and I mix it up in the container it's in, and then I get a brush and I just chisel out my jawline. I smudge it all onto my neck and yeah. Try and get the line as neat as possible and as symmetrical as possible when you're drawing the line from your jaw, but the underneath bit can be as messy as you like. Depending on what I was wearing, if I was going out, I'd probably bring it down onto my chest and my shoulders, but because I was just filming this for the purpose of filming this video, it wasn't as, extravagant as I would normally do it. I then just use the shade Corrupt from the Makeup Obsession Be Very Afraid palette and blend it all out with a fluffy brush just to set it. I then put my contacts in, put my nose piercings back in and brush my hair out, and the look is done. Hi again. So thank you for watching my video. If you want to see more, please subscribe. Please share, it would be appreciated. I am just starting out, so any help would really mean a lot to me. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's Kiera_Jodie_lock. You'll see me soon. If you've made it to the end of the video, thank you so much. I know my voice is quite annoying, but maybe that's just me thinking it is. I am pretty sure it is though. Thank you so much, and I will see you soon. Bye!